Hello Soul Seekers, it's been a very long time since I last did a general reading, an extended reading, but today, on the day of the solar eclipse at 29 degrees Aries, which is a very fated degree, it's a very karmic degree around the ending of cycles. So I was called to do this reading, this extended reading. It is, of course, a general reading, so please remember that not everything will resonate. Take what does and let the rest go, and read the disclaimer in the box below. And let's get going. We're going to choose 3 piles, and then we will choose some oracle cards for each pile, and then we will use the Ancestral tarot to see what messages we have from your ancestors at this very karmic solar eclipse. Please give me 3 cards. Please give me a card for pile 1, card for pile 1. That is pile 1, and we'll take that one for pile 2. Just give another shuffle. And that one is pile 3. So, sorry that it came up the wrong way around. So pile 3, you already know what your card looks like. Let's have a look at pile 1. Pile 2. I'll give you a closer look at them now. I just want to show you your crystals, because for those of you that like to choose with crystals, we have 3 crystals. All of these crystals do have properties that help heal ancestral lineages. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of information on each of them. This is the Bloodstone. It's raw bloodstone from Swaziland, I think. Swaziland or Zimbabwe, I can't remember. I think it's Swaziland. Beautiful piece of raw bloodstone. Now, bloodstone, in addition to healing the ancestral line, it banishes evil and negativity. It has mystical powers that allows the person using it to direct their spiritual energies in a way that they want. It heightens intuition and creativity. It's also, you see this red in here, it's grounding and it protects the heart, and it gives courage and general protection. It also aids, and this is very important at a time like this, especially with the solar eclipse, it aids in the recognition that chaos always precedes transformation, and it assists in bringing spirituality into everyday life. And pile 2, you have this beautiful natural, it's not manufactured in any way, it is a completely natural candle quartz. I'm not sure if you can see how it's glittering, but it's such a beautiful piece of crystal. And candle quartz also heals the ancestral line, but it is a light bringer that assists the earth and obviously the earth's inhabitants with vibrational changes. It brings our guardian angels closer. It highlights the soul purpose and personal illumination. It's a stone of spiritual alchemy. Look how beautiful. Can you see it shining there? So it's a stone of spiritual alchemy. It creates group harmony by just radiating love out towards the group. It brings ancient knowledge into the practical expression, into a practical expression in the material world, and it dissipates feelings of, because it's such a light stone, it dissipates feelings of despair and oppression, and it assists in developing harmony between that state where we want emotional autonomy, but we also want to be emotionally interdependent with somebody else. This candle quartz helps with that. And finally, it teaches that you are never truly alone, because you are always connected to the divine source. Such a beautiful crystal. And this is a very interesting crystal It is a pineapple amethyst. You can see the points, and it looks like a pineapple and little points sticking out. Again, it has ancestral lineage healing properties, and it facilitates contact with the mythic realm, and therefore it helps the ancestral lineage heal family myths and secrets. And it guards against psychic attack. It's a very powerful protector. It has strong healing and cleansing powers, and it also enhances spiritual awareness. I don't know, let me bring it closer so you can see. Very pretty stone. You can see the dark, almost brown purple of the pineapple amethyst. And it also alleviates sadness and grief in the ancestral line. It provides emotional balancing. And it's a very highly, amethyst in general is a highly spiritual stone that promotes love of the divine and opens the mind to intuition and spiritual wisdom. So pile 1, you have the bloodstone. Pile 2, you have the candle quartz. And pile 3, you have the amethyst, the pineapple amethyst. So pile 1, your card is the staff with foundations. I'll give you a moment to look at that. Pile 2, the trickster. That's where the challenge lies, in the trickster energy. And pile 3, the lower world. It's all about the past. So if you already know which pile you're going to choose, the links to the timestamps are in the description box below. I will give you a few moments to just look at the crystals, look at the cards, and pick your pile to find the message that the ancestors want you to know at this time. Beautiful pile 1. Let us choose 3 cards from the Ancestral Tarot to get the message. There's card 1 already. To get the message that your ancestors want. Pile 2. So that's pile 1. Card 1. Heart of the matter. Challenge. And let's just find a key theme to consider. That is very much the card that we want for you. And let us pick a ancestral and guardian, ancestral and angel oracle for you, and we will see what we have. One card for pile 1, please. A card for, oh, too many. We will take that. There's 2 there. Obviously, that's the cards that you want. So we will put those 2 over there. Stargazer. And this one we shall have to put down here. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. So let's put it over there. So the first thing that strikes me here is the staff, which was your lead-in card. So the staff has always, through ancient times, been used by prophets, by royalty, by high priests. I mean, think of Moses parting the Red Sea with his staff. And it's about, it's a magical tool that allows you to create new ways. So here, the staff as a foundation, the staff is offering you, you see this man in the background, or this figure, it's not necessarily a man, it's androgynous. This figure is resting on the staff. And the ground is quite rough and possibly not very solid. So the message in this case is saying, lean on me, and stop, rest, take stock of where you've been. And in this time of rest, look back at the path you've come and assess your journey so far. if you have to return to the basics, build new foundations, sometimes if you scrap everything and you start again, the journey onwards is built on a firmer foundation. And that ties in very well with the Stargazer card, because the Stargazer card says set your sights higher. So your ancestors, and here are your ancestors, very, very present. Trust in higher forces. There is the shaman, the owl, bringing in the wisdom of the ancestors. This shaman card very much says that your ancestors are with you. They are here bringing this message, and they are telling you that on this journey that you feel you're not achieving anything, that you feel you're on such shaky ground that you don't know whether to go forward, to go back, to start again. If you don't know where you are on the journey, your ancestors are saying to you, set your sights higher. You're on the verge of a miracle. You need to just push beyond your comfort zones. You may have come so far, you've battled along through the storms, up the mountains, over difficult terrain, but you've got comfortable now. Push yourself. Your fears have made you feel comfortable. So push yourself through your fears, through your comfort zone. This is an opportunity to heal an ancient ancestral wound around feeling not good enough, feeling that the blessings are not for you. And that's why you're stuck. That's why you feel you're on shaky ground. And the staff says, lean on me while you reassess where you are. If you need to build firmer foundations, do it. The ancestors are saying, trust in your intuition. We are with you. We are walking with you. And set your sights as high as you want to, because you are worthy. You are indeed divinely blessed. So let's see what your tarot cards have to add to that message. We have the Five of Wands. Came out in reverse. Sorry, I'm turning it around. Came out in reverse. And you have, as the challenge, the heart of the matter is the Five of Wands in reverse. The challenge is temperance. And the Eight of Pentacles is a key theme to consider. So what this is telling me here is the Five of Wands is a card of conflict, but not serious conflict. It's almost like practice conflict. It's almost like you know when kittens play. They're playing, but they're actually learning how to hunt. But they don't harm each other. When they chase their little siblings in the litter, they hunt, they stalk, they pounce, but they don't do any damage. And that's the same as this card. This card is saying, in the upright, this card says, the conflict that you experience is just developing your skills. In the reverse meaning, there's several reverse meanings, but how I see it in the context of this reading is the time for practicing your skills is over. You can now move on, use your staff, use your magic tools, set your sights on the vision that you have. The ancestors are supporting you. You've learned the skills. You've been through the practice run. You've developed as much as you can. Your fears are now keeping you in that comfort zone. It's time, the heart of the matter, the heart of this reading is it's time to move forward. Assess where you are, set your sights, reset your sights, set them on your vision, trust that you will be supported, and know that your skills, everything that you've done so far on your journey, you're not on shaky ground because you have actually learned your skills. And it is now time to take what you've learned in practice, just as that little kitten, when it grows up, it can go out and it can hunt. It's time now for you to go out and hunt your vision, to hunt your goals. You've got the support of the ancestors. You can trust in the higher forces. and you are going to learn to believe that you are worthy of those blessings. The challenge is temperance, moderation. Don't rush in. Don't hold back too much. It's about a steady, slow pace. It's about not walking too slow and not rushing in before you've assessed the situation and properly decided that you can move forward. I used the example of Moses parting the Red Sea. If they had gone too early, if they had rushed in before the waves had finished parting, the Israelites would have been buried in the sea. If they had walked too slowly, the Egyptian forces chasing them, the Pharaoh chasing them to get them back into slavery, would have caught them. So the key to walking through the dangers was the right time at the right pace. And that is the challenge in this situation. You've learned your skills. If you think you still need to learn, you may hold back and lose the divine opportunity. If you rush in too quickly, you may not be ready. But the message here is saying that the time is right. Take a little bit of time to assess, look back, and move on. The key theme to consider is the 8 of Sacred Circles. This is about hard work. This is about the master, hard at work, creating the results that he wants. In the traditional Rider-Waite pack, it's a craftsman. He is doing delicate work and he's not even looking at the village. He's totally focused on his career, on his job, on his goal. And he has got 7 pentacles beautifully produced and he's busy working on the 8th one. And the message here, the key theme in this message is to say to you, your practice time is over. You have the skills, you have the mastery. Focus on your gaze. Believe that you will achieve your goals because your ancestors are with you. You are protected by higher forces. Remember, right action at the right time and lean on the staff of your faith, of your belief, of your vision, of your ancestors to move forward out of your comfort zone and walk through the challenges to achieve your goals on the other side. So much love, Pile 1. And may the blessings of this solar eclipse help you end the karmic cycle around the ancestral lineage of feeling that you are not good enough, that you are not worthy enough to receive the greatest blessings and abundance that the universe has to offer. See you in the next reading. Welcome, Pile 2, Soul Seekers. We're going to pick your 3 cards. Please give me 3 cards for Pile 2. That's card 1. And that is card 2. And we will take that one as card 3. And now we will look at your oracle cards. Please give me an oracle from the ancestors, an oracle for Pile 2. That one wants to come out. So, Pile 2. Let's just get your cards right. I think we'll move them up a bit. Let's move them up a bit. There you are. So, Pile 2. The Trickster energy. So there's an imbalance here in the way that you live. And there's a message here, the challenge here in this card is to let your barriers fall down. The Trickster requires of you the need to relinquish control of the situation, to stop any judgments or expectations. There may be a surprise direction coming up in your life, which can become a great blessing. Forget to see that blessing, to receive that blessing. You need to forget what you see as right or wrong, because the chaos around you, the chaos that you're experiencing, is an opportunity for your greatest learning and soul evolution. The Trickster is a light-hearted energy. It's a fun-loving, joke-playing energy. And the Trickster's inviting you to see the humor in the situation. When you're triggered, don't react. Find the humor in what has caused you to be triggered. With the Trickster here, your challenge can become fun. The rattling of the bells, the laughing, the joking, the dancing. Dance your way through the events, whether internal or external, that trigger you. And the Ancestor Oracle is the Elder. And the Elder is saying, move beyond ancestral patterns. So the triggers that the Trickster is trying to help you lighten, to help you see a different perspective, a fun side, a light-hearted side, to not take the triggers so personally. The Elder is saying, move beyond the ancestral patterns. Know that the energy of your spirit is much stronger and more powerful than genetics or inherited ancestral patterns. This Elder comes to you from your ancestral lineage, and it reminds you that in the situation that you're dealing with right now, you have the personal capacity to move beyond any limitations or expectations that have been placed on you by living ancestors or the ancestral lineage that they themselves have inherited from their ancestors and their ancestors before them. The Elder is with you. This Elder who has come to visit you from your ancestral line is saying that he is with you, he is behind you, and he will support you as you seek to overcome the triggers from your ancestral patterns, from your ancestral inheritance. He will help you, he or she, but I do get a masculine energy here. He will help you to transform those triggers into something that can become a fun learning experience. So let's see what tarot cards from the Ancestral Tarot come up to support the two Ancestral Oracle cards. The Eight of Wands is the heart of the matter. The Nine of Cups is the challenge. And the key theme is the Ace of Swords. Now that's interesting, because this is about plans and ideas and things that you've been working on, projects are going to suddenly move forward fast. If you've been feeling a sense of stuckness, a sense of waiting, everything's going to suddenly start coming together, and the plans are going to take off, they're going to fly, and you will find rapid results. The challenge, though, lies in the Nine of Cups, which suggests that there may be an element of complacency here. Perhaps that is part of the ancestral lineage, or perhaps that's what triggers you. This complacency of just staying in this comfortable environment, not pushing beyond it. That may be what triggers you, that the ancestral line just remains in this comfortable life. They don't want to change anything. They just want to carry on enjoying the results of perhaps previous generations or of their own plans coming together. And perhaps there is a fear in you that once your plans come together, once your visions come together, you will repeat that ancestral inheritance of then becoming so complacent that you don't push yourself through. But remember, the trickster is saying this is the moment of your greatest evolution. The elder has brought the message saying that your spirit is strong enough to push through, to move beyond the inherited patterns, the inherited behavior patterns. And you will be able to forge. The key theme to remember in this reading, in this message from your ancestors, is to remember that you have the capacity to forge. Look at the sharpness of that sword. It can cut through clouds. It can cut through mountains. It can take you above the clouds that keep this energy stuck in this complacent, comfortable life that may be very privileged, or privileged compared to others, but in actual fact, it's stagnant and it is not pushing the soul to its highest potential. But the elder is coming and saying, you personally have the ability to cut through those clouds that are clouding the visions of the ancestral line, and you can rise above the clouds. Look there, you see? Can you see? The sword is above the clouds where the sun is shining and a new mountaintop is waiting. So, what you need to take away from this message from your ancestors is that whenever you're triggered by old ancestral inheritances, try and laugh at them, try and see the humor, try and find the light. Don't take it so seriously. Let the trickster show you how to transform the heaviness of that trigger into something that can be laughed off. The elder is saying your spirit is strong enough to break through ancestral patterns that you've inherited. If your plans come together, if they suddenly take off and all your goals and your dreams start coming true, the challenge of the ancestral line is that you will become complacent, you will become comfortable, you will stop growing, you will stop evolving. But there is reassurance from the elder, from the ancestor that has come through, that you personally have the capacity to cut through any clouds of confusion, to cut through any clouds of ancestral complacency and rise above the clouds to find new horizons. So much love. May you take with you this message that your capacity, your inner power, your power for transformation and growth is so immense and so deep that you can break through those patterns that you fear are part of your soul. You do have the capacity. Remember, you do have the capacity to move out of the ancestral behaviors that have kept previous ancestors and generations before you stuck in the same patterns. So much love, Pile 2. See you in the next reading. Welcome to your reading, Pile 3. What do the Ancestral Tarot cards have for you, Soul Seekers? Let us ask for 3 cards. Heart of the matter, challenge in the matter. That definitely wants to come out. And so does that one. And we will take that one as key theme to consider. And let's see what your ancestral and angel oracle cards have for you. A message, please, for Pile 3 from the ancestors. A message from the ancestral line, please. 1 card, and that one seems to be the card for you. Let's straighten those out. Can you see them? These ancestral tarot cards are huge, and the camera space is very small. So Pile 3. Pile 3, we'll start with the lower world. This was the card that drew you in along with the pineapple amethyst cluster. So this beast lying in the caves of the underworld, of the lower world. It's all about your past. And you cannot, the message here is that you cannot forever ignore your past and your deep unconscious. Fears and perhaps misperceptions make you think that your personal underworld is a place of hellish darkness. But the ancestors are here to assure you that it is not. The lower world is here to invite you. It has made an appearance in this reading to invite you to reclaim your real power by accessing the roots of your innermost, most secret feelings. Your ancestors, and remember your ancestors are those that are still living as well as those that are dead. They are here to guide you. They promise that they will help you conquer your shadows and bring forth the ancient wisdom and power that you carry deep within these secret caves that are buried so far in the depths of your psyche. So let's see what the ancestors say. Stand your ground. This mountain. Now, mountains are the symbol of the warrior. You know, the warrior that stands his ground or her ground and makes the last stand. And the ancestors are here to remind you that you are resilient. You have the unshakable strength to be fully who you were meant to be. You are supported not only by your ancestors, but by the symbol of the warrior, of the mountain, supporting the animals, living through season after season, century after century, and still surviving. And the message from your ancestors is that you too will survive this. You too are like the mountain, and you will survive, and you will thrive. Let us see what further message the Ancestral Tarot brings for you. So the heart of the matter is the Four of Sacred Circles. This is about building a firm foundation, of having a home, of having a safe space, of having a secure space, of holding that space tight, not so tightly that you keep all new experiences and all new relationships out, but it is about having that space that is yours, where you can retreat inward, you can reconnect with the divine, you can learn, you have the power within this safe space of who you let in and who you keep out, and what you let out of yourself and what you keep sacred within yourself. So whatever the situation is that you are handling, that you need, when you go into the lower world, when your unconscious triggers, when your unconscious fears rise up and challenge you, the suggestion here is that like a mountain you will survive, but you need to go inward. You need to go to draw into your firm foundation, into your sacred circle, your safe space, where you can get in touch with the ancestors, where you can get in touch with the divine, and you can reconnect to the foundations that have got you to where you are already. The challenge in this situation is the Six of Swords. This is about a journey, but it is more about a mental journey. It is about disconnecting from the mental rubbish, that mental noise that keeps chattering in your head. It's about being in that safe space, in your sacred circle, having that foundation, the firm foundation, where you can learn how to detach from all that buzz that goes on around in your head, so that you can reach. Look at the back of the card here. Look at that the beautiful tranquility of that ocean, of that sailing boat sailing towards the light, the cherry blossoms, the beautiful pond. But this warrior, this samurai, has put his mental swords aside, and he has learned to detach from the mental struggle, from that constant anxiety, all the worries which drain his energy, which keep him stuck in a trap, like a little hamster on a wheel. All those thoughts and sharp ideas that bring reminders of past hurts, that talk about fears and anxieties that you can't quite articulate, you can't quite pin your fingers on, but they just buried so deep in your underworld that they create a disharmony in your mind. But this samurai warrior has learned how to control those thoughts and detach from them and transcend into a state of bliss and harmony and mental serenity. And that will be done through developing that safe space where you have the circle that you can go inward and connect it to your spiritual and ancestral foundations. This is in the challenge position, so this is not going to be an easy path for you. And it's perhaps an ancestral, this is an ancestral behavioral pattern that has been inherited. This high level of anxiety, this worrying about everything, this being on high alert all the time. This warrior is ready to take action. All the swords are there, but he's not in a state of high alert. He's not holding the swords like this. He's sitting, meditating, and he's keeping his soul and his spirit in this calm zone, but he is ready for action. But as a challenge for you, you may find it extremely difficult to be ready for action, but to be in a detached, calm state of waiting. But that is an ancestral pattern that may need to be investigated, explored, brought up to the surface, to be understood, and then to be released. The key theme for you to consider is the Princess of Sacred Circles. This is about an energy of almost like an earth mother. You can see it's almost like developed from the home. There's a calmness about this figure. This is an ancestor, a female ancestor, very much an earth mother, calm, centered, nurturing. I think I'm going to get a clarifying card. Let's see what message this ancestor is trying to bring. What is it that the Princess of Sacred Circles wants Pile 3 to understand about their need to dig into their underworld, to stand firm like a mountain, knowing that they will survive whatever challenges, and to be able to go inward and detach from the mental anxiety? One more shuffle. I think it's that card. Actually, there's two cards there. So let's see what these two cards are. Very interesting. So the message to remember here is sometimes politics, wearing the false mask, probably to hide. Think of the mask that goes over the shadows that you fear in your underworld, in your psyche, those wounds, those secret feelings, those innermost feelings that create the state of panic and high alert that makes it so difficult for the ancestral line that you're part of to remain calm and detached while waiting for action. The message from this Mother Earth ancestor is strip off the mask. Let these anxieties and fears come up to the surface, and then you will go into a state of nothingness where you will be able to create anything and every single potential that you hold within you will be able to be transformed into your highest potential. So, pile 3, that is your message. May the karmic energies of the solar eclipse work with you to help you take that journey to your underworld. Know that you will survive it as the mountains survive the seasons, that you will be able to find that sacred divine space where you are safe to put down your swords, rest that mental anxiety, and yet stay alert as a warrior, but calm and detached with it. Take off your masks, and you will find within you unbelievable potential for things that you have not even dreamed could be possible. So much love, pile 3, and we'll see you in the next reading.